Have you ever stopped to wonder what could be hiding in the depths of the ocean? There are places where not even light can reach, and it's there that Earth's greatest mysteries still live. Today, you'll meet 12 sea creatures so terrifying they seem straight out of a nightmare, but what if some of them are real? Before we dive in, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this journey into the mysteries of the ocean might change everything you thought you knew. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet's surface. And yet, we know more about the moon than we do about the deep-sea abysses hiding beneath the waves. It's in this unknown territory that legends are born, strange sounds are heard, and creatures appear that seem to come from another world. Some say they're only myths. Others swear something very real lurks in the depths. Throughout history, sailors, fishermen, and explorers have reported encounters with giant beings, strange shapes, and impossible movements. Over the centuries, these stories came to life in the cultures and mythologies of the world. But the question remains, what if some of these stories are based on truth? On something we can't explain but that keeps repeating itself in reports so similar from places so far apart? In this video, we're going to plunge into the darkest waters of human imagination. From the ice of Antarctica to Canada's lakes, from Japanese folklore to Nordic nightmares. Get ready to discover 12 legendary creatures that dwell in our deepest fears. They might be only myths, or maybe they're just waiting to be discovered. The Kraken isn't just a giant squid. It's a colossal monster, described as being the size of an island, with tentacles powerful enough to lift entire ships and eyes as large as windows. It first appeared in Norse legends, striking terror into sailors who dared to cross the northern seas. They used to say when the water began to bubble, it was already too late to escape. For centuries, navigators wrote on their maps, "Here be monsters." To them, the Kraken was as real as the sea itself. Reports told of silent attacks, of ships being dragged down to the depths without leaving a trace. It was a warning the sea does not forgive the curious. And the Kraken was its cruelest reminder. Today, giant squids have actually been filmed by deep-sea cameras. They exist. But is the Kraken just an exaggerated version of these real creatures? Or could something bigger, older, and far more terrifying still be hiding in the deep? Maybe the Kraken's greatest power lies in the fear it awakens even when it remains unseen. According to Norse mythology, Jormungandr is a serpent so immense it circles the entire earth and bites its own tail. It lives in the depths of the ocean, waiting for the right moment to rise. When it does, prophecy says the world will end, the beginning of Ragnarok. This creature isn't just a monster, it's the harbinger of the apocalypse. It's said that Jormungandr will fight the god of thunder himself, Thor. Both will die in the final battle. Thor will slay the serpent, but after taking only 9 steps, hell fall, poisoned. For the ancient Norse, this legend explained not only the mysteries of the ocean but also the fragility of life in the face of inevitable chaos. The sea, with its incomprehensible power, was seen as the stage where gods and monsters fought eternal battles. Interestingly, stories of massive sea serpents aren't unique to Scandinavia. In the 19th century, Icelanders claimed to see snakes as big as villages. Even with all our scientific advances, no one has ever managed to fully prove or disprove such sightings. Jormungandr may only be a symbol, but the fear of something circling us in silence, waiting to strike, is still alive today. Picture a shark the size of a bus. With jaws powerful enough to crush a car and teeth as large as a human hand, Megalodon ruled the oceans for millions of years. Scientists say it grew up to 60 feet long and was the apex predator of its time. Nothing escaped its hunt: whales, dolphins, other sharks. It was unstoppable. Fossilized teeth and vertebrae have been found all around the world, in Japan, the U.S., Peru, and Australia. Some teeth are so well preserved they look recent. This fuels theories that Megalodon never really went extinct, that it simply retreated to the deepest, unexplored parts of the sea. After all, there are underwater regions humans have never touched. Movies, video games, and even fake documentaries keep this monster alive in popular culture. And the doubt persists, what if it's still out there? For many, the real terror isn't seeing a megalodon but never knowing for sure. Because if it survived, it doesn't want to be found. And that makes it even more terrifying. Yumibozu is one of the most enigmatic figures in Japanese folklore. He appears when the sea is too calm, the wind stops blowing, and fog blankets the horizon. For fishermen, this silence is scarier than any storm because that's when Yumibozu rises. A colossal, faceless shadow from the depths. His name means sea monk, and his presence is always a warning of destruction. Some say he has giant arms and hands, strong enough to crush ships like toys. Others claim he is only a huge, black head emerging from the water, as tall as the sky itself. When he appears, he demands a bucket. If sailors give him a regular bucket, he uses it to flood the ship and sink it. But if they trick him with a bottomless bucket, they gain enough time to escape. Today, Yumibozu lives in anime, manga, and horror stories. But along Japan's coast, he is still respected as part of the sea. His myth is a reminder that the ocean has its own rules and that silence, sometimes, is more dangerous than the sound of a storm. Because when the sea falls silent, it may mean something ancient has awakened. Amid the mist of Lake Okanagan in Canada, a legend has crossed generations. Agapogo. It is described as a long creature, serpent-bodied with a head resembling that of a horse, reaching up to 50 feet in length. The indigenous Syilx people spoke of a guardian spirit of the waters who demanded offerings before anyone could cross safely. Over time, that spirit transformed into the monster we know today. The first modern sighting took place in 1926, when dozens of witnesses swore they saw a strange being moving across the lake. Since then, blurry photographs, shaky videos, and countless reports have kept the legend alive. Some images show a dark, snake-like silhouette gliding through the water. Despite the lack of solid proof, the number of testimonies grows, and the city of Kelowna even erected a cartoonish statue of Agapogo, now a tourist attraction. Skeptics claim it could just be large fish, drifting logs, or tricks of light. But locals insist the lake holds its own secrets. Maybe Agapogo isn't a hidden dinosaur, but the mystery surrounding it makes it more real than many would like to believe. And sometimes, mystery alone is enough to keep a legend alive in Canada's icy waters. In 1997, underwater sensors picked up a massive sound deep in the Pacific Ocean. It was so powerful it could be detected over 3,000 miles away. Scientists called it the bloop, and it didn't resemble anything they had ever recorded before. Not an earthquake, not a ship, and certainly not any known animal. The mystery spread like a tidal wave. What kind of creature could produce a sound that colossal? The location of the sound was near the supposed sunken city of R'lyeh, the mythical resting place of Cthulhu in Lovecraft's fiction. That coincidence made the internet explode with theories. Could it be the cry of something ancient waking up from the abyss? A being forgotten by time, finally stirring in the darkness? For years, the bloop was debated in forums, documentaries, and late-night conversations, chilling even the most skeptical minds. Eventually, the official explanation came. Scientists claimed it was most likely the sound of icebergs cracking. But not everyone accepted that answer. Because the real mystery isn't just about the sound itself, it's about what it represents. If the bloop was real, then maybe there are other voices waiting to be heard. And maybe the ocean isn't as silent as we think. In the dark, cold waters of Loch Ness in Scotland lives one of the most famous creatures in the world, Nessie. For generations, locals and visitors have claimed to see something strange gliding through the water, a long-necked, bulky, prehistoric-looking creature. The first known account dates back to the year 565, when St. Columba reportedly confronted a water beast in a river connected to the loch. The most famous case came in 1933, with the so-called surgeon's photo, showing a mysterious silhouette in the water. Years later, it was exposed as a hoax, but by then, the legend had already captivated the world. Scientific expeditions, sonar scans, drones, divers all searching for proof. And while nothing conclusive has ever been found, the reports continue, passed from one generation to the next. Skeptics blame illusions, logs, or waves. But the sheer number of witnesses describing something so similar keeps the question alive: what if there really is a creature in those depths? If not a monster, perhaps an undiscovered species hiding just beyond science's reach. To this day, Loch Ness is more than a lake, it's a living symbol of mystery itself. When we think of mermaids, we picture beautiful women with fishtails singing on rocks. That romantic vision grew through fairy tales and stories like The Little Mermaid. But the original versions of these beings were far darker. In Norse, Celtic, and Greek mythology, mermaids were deadly predators who used song to lure sailors to their deaths. In many ancient accounts, they didn't even have tails. They were half woman, half bird with sharp claws, glowing eyes, and hypnotic voices. Their song wasn't a gift, it was a trap. Ships would crash against rocks, crews would vanish, and all that remained was the echo of their deadly music. Over time, these winged beings fused with sea imagery, giving us the hybrid we know today. But the original fear never truly disappeared. Even modern films like The Mermaid 2016 and The Lighthouse 2019 portray them as terrifying rather than enchanting. Science says they don't exist. Yet mysterious vanishings at sea and unexplained underwater sounds keep the legend alive. Maybe mermaids still sing, just not the way we imagined. Now picture a snake so massive it could swallow a crocodile whole. That was Titanoboa, the largest serpent to ever exist. Stretching nearly 50 feet long and weighing over a ton, it lived about 60 million years ago, right after the dinosaurs disappeared. In the hot, swampy jungles of what is now Colombia, it was the undisputed ruler. Scientists believe it crushed its prey with unimaginable force, snapping bones as if they were twigs. Its discovery is fairly recent. In 2009, researchers uncovered enormous vertebrae in a coal mine. Some bones were the size of a human head. Today, a reconstructed Titanoboa skeleton is displayed at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C., but its legend has already gone beyond science. On forums and in documentaries, theories suggest it never went fully extinct. Some claim it still hides deep in the Amazon rainforest in places untouched by humans. After all, vast regions of the jungle remain unexplored. Titanoboa may be just a shadow from the past or a warning that not all giants are gone. And perhaps, in the heart of the rainforest, it still moves. El Gran Maja didn't come from ancient myth but from the digital age. Its name began circulating in obscure forums, amateur videos, and online urban legends. Described as a colossal creature, almost 2,200 feet long, with a mouth full of razor-like teeth and 6 small white eyes on either side of its head. It is said to dwell in the Arctic depths where no human dares to go. The first stories emerged after strange underwater sounds were recorded in the Arctic. Some said it was just icebreakers. Others swore that's not a machine, it's alive. One chilling tale spoke of a submarine expedition that captured, for just seconds, the shadow of something enormous moving across the cameras. No technical explanation was ever given, only speculation and growing fear. Scientifically, El Gran Maja has never been proven. But it became the symbol of a new kind of legend, one born from doubt, from blurry images, from audio we can't explain. In a world overloaded with information, maybe true terror hides in what no one can prove or disprove. And so, El Gran Maja grows not in the ocean's depths, but in the collective imagination of the digital era. The Ningen looks like something pulled straight out of a nightmare. A massive humanoid body, entirely white, faceless, with elongated arms and no distinct features. The first reports appeared in the early 2000s, when Japanese crews claimed to see something swimming beneath the Antarctic ice. Since then, the Ningen has spread across the internet as a cold, silent legend. A creature that doesn't attack, it only watches. Witnesses describe it as being up to 100 feet long, albino, and motionless like a sculpture. It has no eyes, no mouth, no expressions, which makes it even more unsettling. Some alleged photos show pale shapes beneath the water. Low-resolution videos fuel more questions than answers. None are reliable, but all evoke the same feeling, the frozen emptiness of the unknown. Despite the absence of solid proof, the Ningen's legend keeps growing. And maybe that's what makes it so terrifying. It's not a monster that devours or destroys. It simply exists hidden in places where human eyes almost never reach. Science says it doesn't exist. But the silence of Antarctica's waters may hide more than we can imagine. And the Ningen may be guarding that eternal secret. After everything we've seen, one truth becomes clear: maybe the real terror doesn't lie in the monsters themselves, but in the unknown. Because the ocean, with its vast, silent immensity, hides more secrets than we could ever bear. In its depths, where light never reaches, anything could exist. Legendary creatures, unexplained sounds, shadows that don't belong to our world. And what all these legends share isn't just fear, it's silence. They aren't monsters that roar. They're presences that whisper in the dark, feeding on our doubts. That's what fascinates us, the idea that even in a world full of technology, there are still frontiers left unexplored. And maybe, just maybe, some of these creatures are waiting for exactly that, for us to keep ignoring them. If you've made it this far, it means you feel that same burning curiosity, that same pull toward mystery. So now it's your turn. Hit the like button, share this with someone who loves the unknown, and tell us in the comments which of these creatures do you think could be real? And which one would you never want to encounter? And of course, subscribe to the channel, because in the next videos we're going to dive even deeper.